It's 7:40. Let's do this. Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television, and you are watching First Warning Live. We're talking about weather, and if you're interested in weather, you've come to the right place. But it's sponsored by Marco's Pizza. Now, why would I put a discussion topic point of with a new month comes a new weather attitude? Well, if you've been watching me over the last couple of days, you know that new attitude is a new weather pattern. And that pattern is gentler, it's cooler, it's less humid, it's more inviting for outdoor events. Because it's been rather sticky. Today was pretty extreme, but I digress. We're going to be giving away free pizza in this stream. We're going to aim for about 8 o'clock straight up. We're going to give away free pizza for a year, and we're going to throw out some extra pizzas. We're going to throw out some extra pizzas like individual pies, so you might be a winner. And some of you are like, really? Can I win that pizza? Can I actually win? And some of you are already wondering to know, can I win? Did I win? Hang in there with me, Wendy, because we're going to give away at 8 o'clock at the top of the hour so that you'll know when it's going to be delivered, and we'll give that information to you any moment now, so bear with me. I want to get to the fact that we've got Marco's Pizza. The contest is going to continue on even into next week. So we've got 3 locations in Virginia Beach, 1 in Chesapeake, 1 in Norfolk, and the place to go is our webpage if you want to register to win maybe next week, because we're going to give out the winners tonight. We've got 11 people who are going to be winners and recipients. That would be the grand prize winner of the week for the year, and then 10 individual pies on top of that. I think that's cool. Of course, if you don't know what this looks like, we also have a deal of the week, medium $10.99. Use the WTKR promo code right there, Honey Hot Magnifico, if you're familiar with the sweetness of pure honey infused with chili peppers. Oh yes, it's sweet, and then it has a little bit of a kick, 1-2 punch with the Mike's Hot Honey. You'll love it. And it's also good with any of the other medium pizzas. Maybe not the Magnifico Pizzoli, but if you wanted a meat, a deluxe, all for $10.99 if you use the same promo code. It's also good with the Garden Hawaiian Chicken. And did I mention they also have the Philly melty cheesy sauce with the white cheesy, big cheese, chicken fresco, and the works. So you've got a lot to choose from. If you didn't win tonight and you're just hungry, maybe you're salivating, but I got to get to the weather, because one of the things I want you to know is that it hit 95 today. 95 degrees. The record high was 99 from 1961. That was a long time ago. We were just 4 degrees shy of that, but 95 doesn't tell the whole story. Tell me how it felt today. Well, I do know this. The dangerous heat of 7 days is going bye-bye. We're going to say bye-bye. In fact, I'm going to show you this next map. You might want to screenshot it, and then you might want to print it out. Print it out. Who does that? Oh, it's like old school. Oh, and then once you print it out, then you could crumple it up and put it in the wastebasket. How's that sound? The cooler, less humid air will be here on Friday. But what's it look like now? Well, we hit 106. Are you telling me, Aldrich, that it was 95 at Norfolk International, felt like 106, and that was the way this whole monstrosity started last Friday? Yes, that's what I'm telling you. Bookends, baby. 106 with a 110 in the middle. That's pretty taxing. Some of you are like, I'm sweating just thinking about it. But this is the picture you might want to screenshot. Looking back over the last 7 days, are any one of these days jumping out at you? Because we had some nasty storms Sunday afternoon, evening. So once we hit 110, it went do-do-do-do. Wait, it disappeared. But some of you are like, I can't believe we hit 106 today. Yeah, if you were inside most of the time during the air conditioning, maybe didn't feel that. But don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about things that aren't even on your radar. I'm going to cover in this live stream Canadian wildfire smoke. Oh, but I don't live in Canada. Oh, you'd be surprised how that might affect us here in Hampton Roads, down the road. We'll get a little future cast. All this stuff is going to be wild. Hang with me. Temperature trend, 84 tomorrow. It's really going to be like a 2 a.m. high. Let me reiterate. 2 a.m. high. Who even keeps track of that? It's an upside down day. It's like it's turned on its head because of the faux-pas. The frontal passage coming through tonight is going to give us about a 2 a.m. high around 84, and we'll be lucky to get back to 81 tomorrow afternoon. Lots of clouds on Friday, lots of gloom, lots of drizzle, occasional showers. Oh, don't you say it was going to be nice? In all that process, we're going to drop the temperature and the humidity. That's the benefit. You've been patient. You've worked yourself probably hydrating and pre-hydrating for 7 days straight. You deserve a break, and it's coming. I've been advertising this for how many days? 2 weeks. I was talking about this on the 17th of July. People say, oh, I'll believe it when I see it. Human nature, right? It's kind of like when the big snow was coming. That was before I got here. to be fair, February 19th, big snow. I get here 2 days later and there's snow mounds in the Walmart parking lot. And I was like, yeah, you guys look like you got a lot of snow. So I came here from Knoxville. That's how long I've been here, about 5 months or so. And so people have that tendency. I'll believe it when I see it. I've been talking for 2 weeks, 14 days, that we're going to get cooler weather in August. So now everybody's on that bandwagon because the normal high is 89. Well, how do you know that? It says it right there. Says it right there. And it was 90 just a few days ago. So the normal high is beginning to also go back down. But high temperatures did hit 95 officially, felt like 106. It still feels like 106 in Hampton. That's crazy land, my friend. Not Hampton, but the temperatures are crazy, right? It still feels like 95 in Manio. And we know that the hygrometer, the dew point, is exaggerated in Edenton, so we can assume 87 in Edenton feels closer to 100 or 101. Roughly, I'm looking at Elizabeth City as comparison, but I just want to show you some of these temperatures in the current here and now. Feels like 101 in Newport News and 102 in Norfolk at the moment. It is hot and sticky. Severe thunderstorm watch really up toward Maryland. That's until 8 o'clock tonight. Most of the activity tonight is going to be north. So if you can think north, I'm talking like Matthews County, beautiful Matthews County. No traffic lights there. I love Matthews County. And then you've got Gloucester, love Gloucester, and Middlesex. These are the areas until 5 in the morning. That's a long time, Aldrich. Even the ponies and Chincoteague could actually get a lot of rain. So the concern is that maybe some areas could get 1, 2, 3, 4 inches of rain in these green shaded areas. But not everybody, not everybody. At some point, I've said this many times in Knoxville, I'll say it again. At some point, precipitation has to end. What does that mean? Back when you had snow, some of you had 10, some of you had 12, some of you had 9, some of you had 8. At some point, snow has to end. Well, in rain, some point, the heavy rain has to end. And it may end right on this green line, right in here. Heavy rain here, lesser amounts here. That's my expectation. But if you got a comment, let me know. Let's have a conversation because I just want to keep the ball moving down the field. Here's a look at the satellite radar. It's now 7:47. We're going to be giving away free pizza at the top of the hour. Look at these storms. Now, they're not severe, but I can tell you this. It's raining pretty good right now around Williamsburg, over toward Gloucester. Looks like maybe, where are we? Just north of Coleman Bridge. We got some rain. It's heading toward Newport News. And along 17, we'll put this in motion. Which way is it? It looks like it's headed toward Cape Charles and Exmoor. It looks like it's headed due east. So we'll get a few showers in maybe Chesapeake now. We're getting a few showers in the city of Suffolk and this area headed toward Virginia Beach, but nothing too extreme. I mean, we'll make through it. We'll get through this without any real serious problems. But we can see there's more lightning across southern Delaware and moving across parts of South Jersey. That's why, because of the placement of the fronts, that's why they're under the crosshairs for more severe weather. But lo and behold, what do you see over here? Come with me, my friend. Come with me to Minneapolis, Green Bay, Chicago. You would normally think this must be paradise. You would be wrong because there's what? You just said it. Canadian wildfire smoke. You mean it's coming down from Canada? Where else would Canadian wildfire smoke come from? Canada, right. Well, if you want to get specific, you can give me the provenance, but I'm just saying Minneapolis, Green Bay, we're going to look at this, we're going to look at this, we're going to look at, but all this drier air is heading our way, and maybe some of the smoke, too. Maybe. Hang with me. I'm kind of curious. I want to know what you're seeing. Let me know what you're thinking, because you're like, this weatherman, he's all over the map. That's what I have to do in my 20, 30 minutes I'm on this stream. I love being able to converse with you, and I do see some notes coming in from Teresa said, is he okay? Of course I'm okay. Kim Thompson says, was he really, really hot to me today? It was indeed. And Amy Thompson says, I'm sorry, but please stop advertising anything on the weather forecast. Well, Amy, if I didn't have a sponsor, we wouldn't be able to accomplish it. This is a goal that we're just trying something new. But I appreciate the thought. I appreciate the sentiment. We're just trying to do something new because you know what? Not everybody watches or gets on a website. Not everybody looks at an app. We like to try and figure people are on their phone. That's kind of a given. But we're just checking in with you and make sure that you are ready for the weather that's coming. And it's drier, cooler air into Saturday and Sunday. That's my expectation. All right. If I can't keep this entertaining, what else? What's the point? But I do see some comments coming in here. Let me see if I can fly some of these in here. I got the new comments. Let's see. Who won? Let's see. Wendy's follow-up. Wendy has not given up on this. I love it. She wants to know if she's won. Now, if you hang with me, Wendy, at the top of the hour, we're going to cover who won. And there's somebody, and maybe in your neighborhood, maybe a Norfolk, a Chesapeake, perhaps a Moyock, some winners of pizza. And that's coming up in 10 minutes. But I got to keep going. That's why I'm pushing forward, so I can get as much weather in before the pizza delivery. I love it. It's kind of cool. All right, so we go back to the cool weather here. Back home, the humidity is still on fire. We're still very sticky in places like Atlanta, Wilmington, and Virginia Beach. But the pool forecast can be helpful, especially if you're going to be under the water this weekend. It may be a maybe to no tomorrow, simply because of the cloud cover, simply because of the moisture, the humidity. It may be dropping, but the showers might actually keep you out of the pool. But I think it's a yes, yes, yes for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. The beach forecast tomorrow will be breezy. Why do I say that? How else are you going to drop temperature and humidity? You need wind. You need wind. Did I say you need wind? You need wind. It's going to be about 10 to 20. It's going to gust around 25. Low tide is about 735, but the rip current risk is considerably low. Water temperature is generally around 80, if not higher. No concern right now. Let me repeat. Some of you are just interested in knowing what's the tropics doing. Nothing. They're doing nothing right now. So the good news is there's nothing to report here on the last day of July. Last day of July of 2025, there's no tropical disturbances that's catching the eye of any meteorologist at the National Hurricane Center. Could that change in late August? Probably. Historically, it usually spikes in late August and into September. Does that make sense? I hope it does, because we're not going to be dealing with too much in the short term, but we will be watching the tropics, obviously, with a very close eye as we head toward August and September. Dexter, Aaron, and Ferdinand would be the next three names on the storm, the next three names on the list. My weather headlines could not be any more succinct. Wet weather returns tonight with some storms. Some rain will be possible on Friday. It's not necessarily steady, it's occasional. And then when you think it's done, another shower may reappear. But it will be more comfortable, and the key words that I think are going to put a lot of smiles on faces will be the lower humidity, cooler air, mix of sun and clouds, lower 80s. We're going to struggle. Imagine if we had to struggle to get to the lower 80s. We've been there. It's been a long time. Let's see here. I got another note from, who do I have here? Oh, Denmark's back. He's responding, I guess, to Teresa, and I can tell a straight the comment here so everybody knows what I'm reading. It says, best weatherman in the 757. Keep it up, Dave. Thank you. I have to have high energy. No, I don't drink Red Bull, but I do drink coffee with coconut milk. So if you know what my favorite is, I digress. Let's get back to the forecast. It's just 8 minutes away from the big pizza delivery, which we do on Thursdays. So more comfortable this weekend. I still think you're going to love Sunday morning. More on that in a moment. But the severe weather threat, as issued by the National Weather Service, and more specifically, another division of NOAA, would be the Storm Prediction Center. And they have placed some areas, as you can see here, in green. That would be isolated. Could you zoom in a little bit tighter? I can't tell if I'm in the list. Yeah, it would be like Newport News. It would be like, it would be areas, my cursor's not moving me easily up and down, but I can tell you this, it includes areas mainly north of Newport News and up toward the eastern shore. Now this is what's going to catch your attention. If you're from the Great Lakes, let's say you're from Green Bay, right? Let's say you're from Green Bay, Wisconsin. While we have a lot of severe thunderstorms, perhaps out west, I'm looking up here, looks like we have a confirmed tornado. How do you know from this far away? It's purple. It looks like we have a confirmed tornado in this part of the country, just north of Bozeman. I don't know why my cursor does not want to like me today. It's moving the wrong direction. But I can tell you where you see the orange polygon, just southeast of Missoula, there's a severe thunderstorm there, but there's also some issues here. Let's see if I can get this back on this thing. Let's see, back. I knew it would cause me some issues if I couldn't get the mouse to work. There it is. See that little purple polygon just south of White Sulphur Springs? There looks like a confirmed tornado in that part of the world. But what I wanted to draw your attention to was the rain that's still coming in on the East Coast. Clearly, we have some issues with my mouse, and it's not liking my, maybe I need a new battery in the mouse. That could be a problem. But this is with a hot spot. These are air quality alerts that have been issued for Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Illinois, and Iowa. We could throw in part of the eastern sections of Nebraska. What does it look like in the big scheme of things? Because of the dense, and I mean dense, Canadian wildfire smoke, they're under air quality alerts. And I know that might be hard to read, but that's until noon tomorrow. So it's going to affect hundreds of thousands of people, because there are hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in these multiple states, and it has some impact. Now, this is what the wildfire smoke looks like. I didn't see this on the local news. Well, I'm showing it to you now. So you get a chance, you get an inside scoop in addition to the pizza, which we're giving away in 5 minutes. Minneapolis, some of the dense wildfire smoke you can see in Canada is coming to Hampton Roads. Maybe not as intensely, but this looks like it's a Saturday afternoon event, right? It could turn hazy. You might say, I don't know if I smell smoke, but the sky looks a little, I don't know, it looks a little hazy to me. It just looks like it's off its game, it's not as blue. If that's the case, it's probably Canadian wildfire smoke. Does that make sense? See, this is first warning. Well, I mean, you want me to give you the best weather intel, you've come to the right place. So I'm giving you that intel. If you're on Saturday, you heard it was going to be cooler, but then you're like, looks a little hazy. Where's this coming from? Well, it's coming from Canada. The wildfires have gotten out of hand, so there's some smoke, and this is just kind of like, it's the end product. We have to deal with it, and we'll get through it. We'll get through it one way or another, but certainly air quality not the best across parts of the Great Lakes, certainly through midday tomorrow, according to their alerts. Now, meanwhile, the July rainfall, we still haven't had tonight's rain, but I can tell you right now it's below average at the airport. We average about 6.08. And so far, we've had 0.17, so we're still below average. That's kind of a silly notion for some of you because you had so much rain in some of these flash flood warning events we had in July. This is just 1 point, mind you. This is just the airport. And 6.08 is typical for July. We're starting a new month tomorrow, and it's the second soggiest month, typically, over a 30-year period. I'm checking in with the comments. I'm trying to multitask. I see Yolanda. Thank you, Yolanda. Yolanda's, she's encouraging me. Thank you, Yolanda. She says, I love your energy. I'm just trying to keep, what do we deal with? So we're scrolling all our lives. Ask your kids, because I'm a girl dad. I got 2 daughters. I asked my youngest daughter, I say, how much time are you going to scroll this week? She's like, oh, Dad, that's so weird. Ask your kids that. They'll give you that weird look again, like, what are you talking about? We spend so much time on our phones, do we not? Moms and dads, back me up on this. But the energy, I'm competing with TikTok and Instagram, all that stuff. So I'm trying to do my best to alert you that we're going to get cooler. It's going to be great. It's going to be probably August 1st, 2nd, and 3rd could be the best days of summer. For some of you who are just not a fan of the humidity, it's going to go away in a big way. We're going to illustrate that too. Let me keep moving. 608 is the average for this month. We hit 95 today, 93 Suffolk. It was 91 in Elizabeth City today, and 92 in Gloucester. Beautiful Gloucester, who's been dealing with that thunderstorm, as we saw just a moment ago. So there's some issues with the rain right now, but this too shall pass. I can encourage you, this too shall pass. It is now 7:57. Hey, the 757. You gotta love this particular minute. By the way, 92, 92, 95. We had 2 days at 92. This is the month as a whole. So right here, 1, 2, this is actually the hottest day since last Friday. And isn't it funny, because wasn't last Friday a 106? Feels like it was. Wasn't today's 106 the feels like it was? They match. Isn't that amazing? And we finished 10 versus 16. There was so much humidity in July. I think there was far greater humidity in July, even though both July and June were hot like firecrackers. You could tell because both days had 12 90-degree days at the airport. I'm just using this as a frame of reference. They do keep this very calibrated. They've got historical records in Norfolk going all the way back to the 1800s. But we had 12 days in June and now 12 days in July, and the hottest day we've had so far was June 26th. That was when it was 99 degrees. I show this commonly because I want you to have context, right? We hit 95 today. The last time we hit 95 was at the beginning of this long stretch of hot days. That's where we are. Coming up on 1 minute before pizza. All right, so we've got, average 8. And we know we had 12 here in June. We had 12 here, right? We were below average, but above average. It kind of works itself out. We typically see about 36 days in a year of hot weather at 90 plus. And if you were keeping track, we've had now 27 days in 2025. I see Rambert, he's on here. I think he's got a comment. What does he say? Oh, he says, bring it. Yeah, we're going to bring it. We're going to bring in less humidity. We're going to bring in cooler air. We're going to bring a little bit of rain tonight, and maybe a few pesky showers on and off. About a 40% chance tomorrow. That's my expectation. But Rambert, thank you for being on here. I like to recognize those who are brave enough and confident enough to post their comment, their picture. It's the picture that you supply Facebook. It's nothing surprisingly, but that's how this works. If you're a first-time viewer, we're glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're here. We got to keep going. It's now just about 8 o'clock. Here are my temperatures. I'll show you this, and I'll get my pizza reset. 88 right now in Portsmouth. It's 88 in Norfolk here at 8 o'clock and 87 in Currituck. Elizabeth City checking in at 85 degrees. All right, we got to give away some pizza. Who wants some pizza? I know that some of you are like excited. I'm excited every time we get to this point in the week on Thursday. So let's go ahead and pull this out. Free Marco's Pizza. Now notice it says certificate will be mailed, so I can't send it over the internet. That would be hard. But if you've already registered, going to WTKR.com/Marcos, then you'll know. But the winner, as we come back on camera real briefly here, is it would not be the same if I didn't at least have some confetti. Yay, I love the confetti. Hey, the winner is Timothy Camp from Chesapeake. Drum roll, please. Oh, there it is. Timothy, congratulations. You, my friend, have just won free pizza for a year. What does that look like? The certificate looks like this. It'll have your name on it, the day it expires, the program organization, all that's going to be on the top. It'll all be filled in. But we can also say, since tomorrow's August and you're going to be getting it in the mail in the next couple of days, you can check off August. You're getting one large, one topping, free pizza monthly, and you can do it for 12. You can go like a punch card. You can go through each of the autumn and winter months, and it'll be good comfort food. The Marco's Pizza certificate for a year. Congratulations. It's a big deal. I think it's a big deal. But we're not done there. I just wanted to share that with you, Timothy. I know on behalf of everyone watching, congratulations to you. Marco's being very generous. They're always giving back to the community, and that's one of the things I like about Marco's. Now, I love their pizza too, but here's the thing I wanted to share with you. If you haven't noticed, we also have a deal of the week. What does that look like? A $10.99 medium pizza. Also works for all the specialty pizzas we covered at the top of the live stream. All you need to use is our promo code. That's our call letters and the word Sunny. WTKR Sunny is the promo code you would use at checkout when you go to Marcos.com. So Marcos, thank you for that. All right, so let's get to the other winners. It is now almost 8:02. But here we're giving away one free large one topping pizza. I didn't have room for the word one topping, but that's also assumed that that's what you're going to get when you, if your name is on this list. But here they are. Drum roll, please. Here we go. Congratulations to Brenda Copeland. Congratulations, Brenda. Brenda is actually from Hampton. And Christiana Rogers, she is from Moyock. So we've got, now Christiana might have a little bit of a drive. Maybe she's vacationing, Virginia Beach. Because we mentioned what's more important to know. You have to know that what we're doing is we're giving away at these 5 locations. You could go to a Marco's anywhere practically in the country. There's some in other parts of Hampton Roads, all throughout Tidewater. But these 5 are the ones that will redeem the pizza that we're talking about. If you want to be a winner next week, just go ahead and register, get your name in. You only have to register one time, so that's cool there. All right, other winners include Frank Klein. Congratulations, Frank. Frank Klein and Glendon Studdard. I believe that Frank is from Chesapeake and Glendon Studdard is from Norfolk. So we've got some people that are closer to these stores that might be easier for you to redeem. Glad to have you as a winner of a free large pizza from Marco's. Also, we're not done. We got 10 in no particular order. We got Gwendolyn Bracey. Ooh, is Gwendolyn on this call? If she is, she's in Portsmouth. Congratulations, Gwendolyn. You have just won a large free pizza from Marco's. And I also want to announce John Shepard. I believe he is, yes, he's in Norfolk. Norfolk, we have another Norfolk winner in John. So thank you for participating in the contest here. We got another one right over here, number 7 and number 8. Lewis Shelp and Randy Beveridge, both winners. I believe Randy is they're both Virginia Beach. So Lewis, Randy, both Virginia Beach residents, they just won a free Marco's Pizza one topping. And last but not least for this week, I mean, how much pizza can you give away? As much as they want to give away. Isn't that nice? I find it very generous and nice of them. But number 9, number 10, Tara Thomas. Where's Tara? Is she watching? She's in Chesapeake. And Tawanda Jackson from Suffolk. Okay, that might be a little bit of a drive, but Tawanda, you got to come to Norfolk or Virginia Beach if you want that free pizza. It's there. When you're traveling around, maybe you got family or cousins or brothers or sisters in this area, we'd love to see you. And that's the whole point of the contest. We want to see you at one of those 5 stores. I believe there might even be an announcement of more stores coming. I don't have all that intel just yet, but I'll let you know when that changes. All right, can we reset? Can we go back to the weather, Aldrich? I love the pizza, but we got to get back to weather. Yeah, what we were talking about, Canadian smoke. We were talking about the temperatures. We're back to, 87 in Portsmouth at 8 o'clock. That's some hot stuff. Right? 85 in Cape Charles, 84 in Wakefield, and the feels like temperatures. Still on fire. I thought you said this was going to be over. You're going to have to wait till the winds kick in from the north. That should occur sometime between 11 p.m. tonight and 2 a.m. tomorrow. So 11 11 p.m. tonight, 2 a.m. tomorrow. That's when the north wind comes to town. Yes, and it's going to be breezy. And it's going to drop the dew point. It's going to drop the temperature. And we're going to have a cloudy, mostly cloudy day tomorrow. But these temperatures still feel like 100 in Norfolk. Still feels like 98 in Virginia Beach. Kitty Hawk, 95, and feels like 97 in Manio at 8:05 in the evening. What's going on? I'm telling you what, it's not easy to take after 7 straight days. Oh, I got a note from Jessica Lynn. She's somebody, I've seen comments from her before. She says, free pizzas, woohoo. I just want to congratulate. I mean, do you realize we just gave away 10 free individual pies? And we have a guy who's just won Timothy, I believe is Camp, right? Timothy Camp. Yeah, from Chesapeake. He's just won free pizza for a year. And you might be thinking, I know Timothy Camp from Chesapeake. Hopefully he'll share. I always say, are you going to share your pizza? I don't know. Maybe you are. I hope you will. Because, I mean, that's the neighborly thing to do, right? Or at least with your spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, somebody, right? Somebody might want to share in some of your pizza winnings. That's just me. But I got to get it back to the weather. It's 8:06. You know, our dew points are tropical, but they're going down. They're going to go doo-doo-doo-doo. What? They're going to disappear and go way down. They're +5s in Newport News. Hampton, +6 in Chesapeake. I mean, it's like, is this ever going to stop? It's usually going to rise before it falls, and it will fall like so. I've showed this before. But right now we've been in the mid-70s, but by the time we get to what time? 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. tomorrow, that's when the north wind kicks in. That's a cool weather direction. Yes, it is. And so we're going to see this go, boom. Oh, there it goes. It's going to get back into the upper 50s. It could happen as early as Saturday evening. You could be taking a walk on the sidewalk and say, boy, this Saturday night feels pretty good, honey. Minus a little bit of the Canadian wildfire smoke. How do you know about that? I was listening to Aldrich. I was listening to First Warning Weather, WTKR. You can watch this at 11 o'clock news. I'll have more on this. But I love the fact that you are empowered with this knowledge, right? Your dew points are going to be in the mid-upper 50s, certainly Sunday morning, but you might get a bonus Saturday night. You might be amazed how comfortable it feels, and if it's good on Saturday night, it's only going to get better. Only going to get better on Sunday morning. Does that make sense? I'm trying to help out. I'm just trying to do my part, but I don't even see it getting, well, it is now. Last night, I couldn't show it. Now I can. Look how these dew points have gone here. It's actually in the 40s. 40s? Dew points like 48 near Green Bay. I mean, come on. They got wildfire smoke, it's not perfect, but the dew points have dropped into the 40s in Wisconsin, and they're in the low 60s in Columbus, Pittsburgh, and Indianapolis. That's a pretty good canary in the coal mine if I ever did see one. So even though it's tropical at 78 here and very uncomfortable, I'm trying to tell you, when the north wind kicks in, you will be happy. Oh, in Knoxville, I want to say hi to all my East Tennessee friends. Been there for 15 years, raised my 2 daughters there. And look at this, Virginia Beach. I've been here in the Hampton Roads and Northeast North Carolina region here now for about 5 months. And our temperatures can vary a little bit, but you can see how much cooler it is in green. Look at Detroit. I mean, this is the drier air that's trying to drive in and move down this way. And that's why August, at least the first 7 to 10 days, will be exceptionally below average, cool, less humid, and very comfortable. I still think the first 3 days, if you want to subtract, I mean, you can subtract tomorrow because of the clouds, but certainly Saturday, Sunday, Monday, we'll just attach it to that. Saturday, Sunday, Monday will probably be the best summer days of your summer, weather-wise, as far as comfort, that we've had all summer. I think because it's just a little hint of September, and then you get it in early August. I mean, that's kind of cool. If you could teleport any city, where would you go? I mean, maybe some of you would go, maybe you would go to Denver. Maybe you would go to Rapid City. Maybe you'd say, well, now that I know there's Canadian smoke dropping down, maybe I'll just stay where I am. That's fine too. If you're on the call, we'd love to say hi to you. I got some other comments. Yolanda was very kind. See, I love this. I mean, it's the most neighborly thing you can do, right? Is to congratulate a winner. Timothy might not even be watching right now. Hope he was or is. Because Timothy, if you are on this call and you're watching us live, I would love to get your comment. What do you think about winning pizza for a year? And are you going to share? That would be my first question, but maybe second question. But I thank Yolanda for being thoughtful enough, because she didn't necessarily win this pizza certificate, but she's sharing in your victory, your reward, and she's just wanting to express congratulations to you. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate Yolanda. Okay, so we're going back to the maps. We're going right through, what time is it? It's now 8:09. We're almost to the finishing point, but I wanted to show you why. I mean, how could I have predicted 14 days ago that it was going to be cooler in parts of the country? And you can see the yellowing that was all over Quebec. It was pushing all the heat out west and bringing in some cooler air here. Now, this will take us to August 10th, and the colors are not as red as they are out in Utah or perhaps into parts of Wyoming. So I think the hottest weather around the country, relatively speaking, will be pushed to the west, kind of like a teeter-totter or a seesaw. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. Now, this is a little more convoluted, right? I got to tell you, what are you doing, Aldrich, putting a 2 a.m. high? I just want to be precise. I used to have a nickname in Knoxville, and it ended in the word accurate. 84. 84 is where I think our high temperature will be, a 24-hour maximum, but we're going to have a hard time getting back to 81 in the afternoon. Winds are going to be pretty busy. I'd say 10 to 20, gusting to around 25, but you have to have the wind in order to get the temperatures down and the dew points down. It's just a function of what's going to happen. And showers may be on and off around 8 o'clock, but they're generally going to be on the way out. I suspect we'll get some improvements certainly by, say, Saturday morning. That's my expectation as we look at that particular planner. Okay, going to keep moving. I know there's some other comments coming in, but this is where we're going to be. Normal high is 89. We're going to be in the low to mid 80s. I think this should actually be an 81. I think I did move that down. It was 81. I've been 81 for both Saturday and Sunday for several days now, but here my chances of precipitation go to 0 Sunday and Monday, and the 20% chance on Saturday I think is going to be primarily Outer Banks, as this thing could clear a lot faster than some would anticipate. But my chance of rain is not all that high even on Friday. We get a good chance tonight, probably closer to 60 tonight, but about a 40% chance tomorrow. Rainfall forecast suggests through 11 o'clock tomorrow night we pick up a tenth, right? Maybe a half inch for the Outer Banks. It's really not going to make any, it's not going to steal the show. It's not going to be the big event, but we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. Now, as we move this map a little bit further into the regional view, you can see that we have similar amounts in places like Roanoke. They've got about a half inch projected, and about 3/4 of an inch around Nags Head, lesser amounts for places like Cape Charles and the Eastern Shore. We're going to look at the radar again before we get through the live stream. By the way, Eastern Shore tomorrow, UV index is really low. What happens? When you see a 4, and it's usually like 10 or 11, when it's high, it's because we got clouds, right? We got a lot of clouds in Bloxham and Onancock tomorrow in the upper 70s. And we'll be lucky to hit 80 in Cape Charles. Cape Charles, about a high of 80 degrees, Exmoor at 79. You can see over Kill Devil Hills, 83, Nags Head, 83, Manio, 83, while Rodanthe, Hatteras, and Ocracoke also generally in the low to mid 80s. Storm Prediction Center, we were talking about how severe weather is breaking out in some places like Montana or maybe Wyoming. There's some issues there between now and 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. The yellow, Casper, Wyoming, not to be confused with a ghost. Casper, Wyoming has scattered severe storm potential, as does Denver, because they're colored in yellow. The green area in Little Rock represents isolated. They could have an isolated storm between now and 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, but through tonight, we mentioned that the worst of the storms would likely be in either Delaware, Philadelphia, New Jersey, or the nation's capital as a general rule. Hopefully that makes sense. And I was trying to illustrate momentarily ago how close this was. Let's see if we can get in. See, I'm having problems with this mouse. It doesn't like me, but that's okay. Williamsburg is definitely included, but it would look like it's certainly not including Virginia Beach. We can assume that is true. Severe weather threat tomorrow, back toward Rapid City and Denver, and it does move south of us tomorrow. Even though we're improving in terms of the rain, it's trying to move south of us. It's going to push some of the severe weather threat near Charlotte or Atlanta. That could affect some air travel if you're flying in or out of either of those airports. But looking good tomorrow in terms of no severe weather, and no severe weather on Saturday here locally. But we could have some issues still in Colorado, Amarillo, Texas, and parts of Nebraska. And if you're down and maybe you have family, if you're in the military of Valdosta or Dothan, Alabama, there's still a chance for some isolated storms. Nothing going on Saturday here. So here's where the Futurecast takes us. I find this fascinating because you notice where these nasty storms live, the Eastern Shore. We talked about the top of this live stream would be mainly north, and that's where the projection is at 9 o'clock, which is about 45 minutes from now. Once we get into 11 p.m., the worst of it's out over the ocean, but we still have some residual showers in places like the Isle of Wight and maybe back towards Surrey County or Sussex County. We're still going to be dealing with showers as they drop down into maybe into Suffolk and Chesapeake. That's probably, let me take this full screen. So this is, what time is it? This is midnight tonight. You mean we're going to get rain tonight? Yes, we're going to get rain tonight. Oh, I didn't hear that. I don't know what you're listening to. I heard we're going to get rain tonight. Yeah, about a 60% chance. So this is the projection, as you can see, through about midnight. 1 o'clock in the morning, you could get a kaboom in Chesapeake, Greenbrier at 1 in the morning. I didn't know it was, yes, I'm trying to tell you, it's possibly going to be raining hard for a little while before about 2 a.m. because that's when the north wind comes to town, right? You said between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. that wind starts to take hold, and it will, and it's still raining in parts of the Outer Banks. 5 a.m., and then we head into 7 a.m., and look how gloomy it looks tomorrow. Yeah, there's some hit or miss showers. I mean, I left a 40% chance, but our high temperature's probably already been achieved at 2 a.m., at 84. But even at 5 o'clock, I mean, it's not completely away from the Albemarle. It's still raining, maybe along the eastern shore and Virginia Beach at 5 p.m. tomorrow. You say, man, I thought this weather was going to be really nice. Look at the winds, right? They're coming from the north, that's the arrow, and it's 10 to 20. So I can't emphasize enough. It's like, man, it feels good, but that wind is pretty noticeable. It is. It's going to be noticeable, 10 to 20, gusting around 25. And then even at 11 o'clock, this particular model, not all, still has it raining on your Friday night. Oh, man, I got to carry an umbrella tomorrow night at 11. Maybe so. Drizzly, a little rainy in Franklin, Virginia Beach, and it's still trying to kick out. But this is the beautiful part, right? This is where the payoff will eventually, I mean, it's not going to be that hot tomorrow, but it's going to be gray, and we'll take that. Over the 106 today, I'll take that. Maybe you would too. A couple of showers. This is 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. Watch what happens by the time we hit 11 a.m. Again, models like this vary so much. Most of the clouds, I think, are going to be gone by midday, and we're going to finish like this. We might even start late morning like this, where it's virtually clear and all of the drops are down toward the Outer Banks. I think we're going to see so much more improvement than this particular model would suggest. All right, I've said my piece on that. Friday morning, we got some rain. 74 in the peninsulas, 76 North Carolina and South Side. That's my expectation. Tonight's lows will drop down to about 76 Virginia Beach, 75 Cape Charles, and Duck about 77 degrees. Tomorrow afternoon, again, because we have a 2 a.m. high, I think we maybe struggle to get to 81 as we bounce back to the low 80s at 83 for North Carolina, and highs tomorrow, at least daytime highs, about 81 in Portsmouth, 84 for Elizabeth City, and about 80 for Cortland. Tomorrow afternoon, Waverly about 78 and 76 for Matthews. So the cooler air north of us is taking hold. Here's your first warning. WTKR News 3 7-day forecast. 81 Saturday and Sunday. Monday 83, 84 on Tuesday. You'll notice the chance of rain goes up late in the week, mid to late next week, 40 to 60. And temperatures, even though they're in the mid 80s, are still below average. Look at this. Looky. 69 degrees Sunday morning. I call that the slice of nice, because what it doesn't reveal is the fact that it's actually going to be in the 50s for dew points. The dew point number is the gold standard for measuring humidity, and since it's going to be so low, it's going to be so comfortable, and that's the theme going into Monday. So I think Saturday, Sunday, Monday, these 3 days are golden. And isn't that funny? Because I think it's 1, 2, 3 that we have the tax-free holiday in Virginia. So if you're buying school supplies, you can even have hurricane preparedness purchases, like a portable generator, tax-free. You could a chainsaw, that tax-free, gas-powered. There's all sorts of things if you go to the website, which I've done for the sales tax-free. I mean, these first 3 days in August. But who wants to go shopping when it's so nice outside? It's a trade-off. If I could shop outside, it'd be a win-win. But either way, enjoy what you have. I do know that tomorrow there's technically, I believe, in the Outer Banks, the 19th annual Watermelon Festival in Nags Head. You mean you know about that? Weather permitting, yeah, I know about that. And they've got a rock wall, food trucks, they're going to have face painting. That's a lot of fun if you're in Nags Head. But that's the Watermelon Festival. It's a one-day deal. I think it's 10 to 4 tomorrow. So if you want to get out, check in. Again, the rain might scare some people away. Maybe you'll have more of the watermelon and the food truck food to yourself. I don't know. You got to share. They'll have to share if you get out there. Again, there's happy shots tonight. May not be all happy. They're kind of gloomy a little bit. Virginia Beach. This was Monday evening. I want to say a special thanks to Dana Bandy for being so thoughtful to share this with us. Also, a cool picture in the past. We're going to do a Wayne's World time lapse. Go back to September 7th, 2024. This picture, by the way, came by way of the WTKR photographers group, and the reason it got pushed to the top of the food chain is that somebody was commenting on it and said, hey, are they going to do this again this year? And someone says, I don't think so, or don't know. But anyway, Robbie Hickman, thank you for sharing this picture from almost a year ago. The Balloon Festival, it looks like a lot of fun for those of you who are, maybe you participated in that balloon festival that was going on. But Robbie Hickman, thank you for sharing that on Facebook. And then last but not least, tonight, Ed Ellington with a drone captured the Newport News City Center at Oyster Point. Glad to see this beautiful picture. There's just so much beauty in this part of the world. We hope you'll be able to get out and enjoy it, especially on these 3 days. I think these are some of the best days of summer, and you'd be kind of kicking yourself if you don't get out and enjoy. Just know that you'd be on the lookout. Maybe your sensitive nose would say, I think I smell smoke. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. By the way, just to remind you of the 5 contest locations, we'd love to have you join us. If you didn't win pizza tonight, you could always get that medium pizza. We're talking about the deal of the week. The deal of the week specifically is the $10.99 promo code WTKR Sunny. You could try the Mike's Hot Honey, the new item alert. It's a Magnifico. It's a pepperoni pizza with the hot honey. It's delicious, but it also is good. This $10.99 medium price works with the same promo code if you decided to get maybe a all meat, a deluxe. I love the deluxe. Garden, Hawaiian chicken, maybe the Philly, the white cheesy, the big cheese, or the chicken fresco. I mean, for $10.99, can you imagine if you got everything, the works? You get all that on a pizza for $10.99. That's a deal. That's a steal. Barbecue chicken, grilled chicken, bacon, onions, tangy barbecue sauce. I think you've got a lot of options, and I hope that you'll participate any way you can and anytime you want. Anyway, just remember, we're moving into a better period of time as far as the comfort level. I like a hot day every once in a while, and some of you like to too, but maybe you're not a big fan of the hot and sticky weather. Let me just check comments before I come back on here. Let me go back over to this side. Some of the comments that might still be coming in. Kim has been patient with me, and she has just noted in this note, she says she's loving it and waiting patiently. Give it till about 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. for the north wind to come to town. Now, it's not instantaneous. It's not a microwave oven, but once those north winds, maybe you've got access to you could tell from your house where the north and where the directions are. Maybe you'll notice there's a north wind blowing to town, feeling cooler in the overnight period. But thank you, Kim, for your patience, and thank you for your support. I do appreciate everybody watching. I know it's not easy. There's other things competing for your attention. All right, last question. If I had another comment, we had Rambert, we had Denmark, we had Teresa, and I had Kim also wanting to know. Kim was also noting, this was an earlier comment. She said it was really hot today. It was hot, 106 when it was actually 95 in the shade. Okay, just a reminder, we're going to be doing this again next week. Again, we're still learning. This is like a fun thing. I think this is episode like 38. We're going to be coming up on 40 next week. So either way, I appreciate your time and your support. Remember, it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny or if it's serious, if it's sticky, or if it's cool. Every day is a gift. Make the most of it in your neighborhood. We'll see you here next week. Take care.